I've got to talk about something that's been going on for now, going on 3 weeks. I have something I really need to admit about my Nintendo Switch. We're gonna get into all that in this video. There are certain things that have been keeping me from my Switch. There are certain new things that I've had to kind of replace what I used to use the Switch for. Not that the Switch is going anywhere. Not that Nintendo is going anywhere for me. Obviously, I love Nintendo, but we do have a lot to talk about. What's up, guys? Welcome back, or welcome in for the first time. If you are new here, do me a favor, jump down in the description of this video and click the link over to our podcast channel. We record a podcast over there every Thursday night at 8 p.m. Eastern, including this Thursday. So this video is probably going up on Wednesday, so we'll be doing that tomorrow. Maybe it does go up on Thursday. Maybe you're watching this later. I don't know, but we'll be there Thursday night. 8 p.m. Eastern. Click the link. Anyway, so you guys know, I'm a huge fan of the Nintendo Switch, obviously. I made an entire YouTube channel about it. I've been doing this since, 2019? I love the Switch. I love Nintendo. I always have. I mean, I've got Nintendo stuff tattooed on me. This is not new news. That's not gonna change. But we are in a period where, right now we could get a Nintendo Direct. There's rumors now we might be getting one next week. By the time you're watching this, maybe we've already had a Nintendo Direct and we've got a lot more stuff to look forward to through 2023 and maybe beyond. But right now, very, very early February of 2023, there's not a whole lot to look forward to when it comes to the Nintendo Switch, except for the new Zelda game. Tears of the Kingdom, obviously, we're excited about that. Most people are very excited to play that. We've got Kirby's Return to Dreamland coming out at the end of this month. I believe that's the 24th. That's gonna be a fun one too, but beyond that, we really don't know what's coming. That is the thing I need to admit to you guys today. I have not touched my Switch. Now, I did play GoldenEye. I did try out GoldenEye. It was released for the 64 online, but other than that, I have not touched my Switch in 3 weeks. And that's because of this. I did get a Steam Deck. Now, I know this is a Nintendo channel. We're not supposed to be talking about the Steam Deck, but I really do want to talk about this thing. Like I said, I've had it for almost 3 weeks, and I have not put it down. I have barely played PlayStation. I've barely played Xbox. I've barely played my Switch. I haven't really played my Switch because this thing is pretty incredible. What it can do is, it really opened my eyes to what the Switch could be. Now, I don't think we're gonna get a Switch 2 that's this. I mean, maybe, but I do kind of want to talk about this. I want to talk about the Steam Deck, and I want to talk about just kind of where we are with the Switch at this point. Now, we all know we want a better Switch. We're ready for the Switch 2. We're kind of in that period where we're coming to the end of the Switch's life, even though Nintendo says they're about to put out more Nintendo Switch units this year than they did last year, which is crazy. That makes me think something's happening. I said in another video, you can go back and watch that, we put it out last week, that I think the reason for that is something to do with the Switch Lite. I'll link that at the end of this video if you want to check that out. But as of right now, there's not a lot to look forward to. And as far as third-party games on the Switch go, after playing some stuff like that on the Steam Deck, like just for instance, I'm playing Red Dead Redemption 2 in a handheld form right now. It is, honestly, it's everything I've ever wanted. Red Dead Redemption 2 is one of my favorite games. I played it on my PlayStation 4 Pro. When I had that, it was awesome. I played through the whole game, went back, played more. I'm playing through it again. I really love Red Dead Redemption 2. It's one of my favorite games. And I've always wanted that game to come to the Switch. And there was always that, it might, but it's gonna end up being like The Witcher. The Witcher's fine on Switch, but it doesn't look the best. It looks better everywhere else. And now there's the next gen update for The Witcher, and that's on PlayStation 5. That's on Xbox Series S and X. We still have The Witcher on the Switch, but they didn't even do any of the updates for even the cross save, so you can save on your PlayStation, play on your Switch. You can't do that. You can play PlayStation to Xbox to PC. Those all work. I believe it works here too. I mean, it is the PC version. I don't see why it wouldn't. Also, bought The Witcher, the new version of The Witcher on here, $7. $7 on Steam. Now, you PC guys, you already know. You already know what this is about. I've been missing out on the PC game prices for a while. Didn't realize I was missing that much. But my point is, Red Dead's one of those games I've just waited so long for it to come to something like the Switch so I could play it handheld, so I could play it, you know, in bed. And the fact of the matter, it's just probably not gonna come to the Switch. But now, having something like this, I have to be very honest with myself when it comes to the Nintendo Switch in its current state. Now, things can change. Things could go, you know, a lot of different ways, especially if we do get just a straight up Switch 2, we get more power, we start seeing some things like that. It's very possible. But until that happens, I honestly don't really see a point in buying third-party games on the Switch if you have something like this. Now, if you don't have an extra $400 to $600 to get one of these, yeah, if you want to play it in handheld mode, I mean, the Switch is the way to go. Obviously, it's the only way to go. But a lot of games aren't even on the Switch. But then again, that's not to say that all those games will work on here, because there's still a lot of stuff on Steam that's not compatible on the Steam Deck, which was a little disappointing, honestly. If I'm being honest, my Steam library was basically non-existent when I got this. The only Steam game I had was NASCAR Heat 4, not compatible on the Steam Deck. The new NASCAR game, actually, NASCAR Ignition, not compatible on the Steam Deck. That just came out last year, so that's a little disappointing. There's a lot of racing games, actually, that are not compatible or even fully compatible on the Steam Deck, which is a little disappointing because I did want to try to use this for my racing wheel, which I'm still looking into doing that. Still gonna try to do that, but my point is things run better on the Steam Deck. I mean, you know, you can look side by side. The Witcher on the Switch, The Witcher on the Steam Deck, it's not even comparable. So it does give me some excitement for the future of what Nintendo could possibly do with handhelds now, but there are some drawbacks. There are some drawbacks of the Steam Deck. I think a lot of those have been blown a little bit out of proportion. So I do want to talk about some of those, but let's go over to the desk. Let's take these over to the desk to finish this. Oh, Jeeb's gonna love this. He's got 2 different audio files to deal with now. Neither of them sound the same. He's gonna be mad at me. Sorry for you guys if it does sound a little bit different. I'm trying some different things. I want to move around a little bit. So anyway, back to this. I do want to make this very clear. I am not going anywhere when it comes to Nintendo first-party games, the Switch in general, really everything that Nintendo does, I love. I'm so excited for the movies. Nothing is changing. Nothing is changing about what I do on this channel. I don't even know what this is. I guess this is turning into kind of a little mini Steam Deck review, but I do want to talk about a few things that people have complaints about this thing with that I have not really found to be an issue. And it might just be the style of gamer that I am, just the way that I use my stuff. But something that was talked about a lot was the battery life on this thing. And now I know it's not great, you know, when you're playing something like Red Dead. Yeah, it's not great if you're not plugged in, but to be honest, 9 times out of 10, I'm sitting here in my house. I'm either upstairs on the couch, upstairs, way upstairs in my bed, or right here where I have plenty of places to plug things in. The battery on this thing, I've not had a problem with it. And another thing I do want to mention about this that is really, really great that I don't see a whole lot of people talking about, but there's a way that you can play xCloud on this thing. So you can get your Game Pass library, whatever's available on the cloud, and you can play it on this thing. Now, for a lot of you out there are Nintendo Switch users and you know how cloud games go. It's honestly a terrible experience on the Switch. I can say, as far as xCloud goes on this thing, it's almost flawless. I have been playing Jedi Fallen Order through xCloud and there's almost no lag, there's no latency, and if there is any, you can't really tell. Forza Horizon 5, I played a little bit of that. These games just run great being streamed on this thing. It's a very, very high quality image. I mean, you know, you have your occasional hiccup, your occasional small little thing that kind of takes away from it, but for the most part, it's been a wonderful experience. But it's just very, very interesting going from something like the Switch to something like this, because this is the first time I've ever really messed with anything like this. I haven't had any of the other little handheld PCs, you know, the Ioneos or anything like that. So this is kind of my first go around with something like that. I haven't even got into any of the emulation stuff that I want to do. I really do want to take this thing a little bit further, and I think I am going to start covering maybe some other handhelds, definitely this on this channel. I'm really enjoying it, and it just kind of opens opens my eyes to what we could be getting with the Nintendo Switch in the future. So one other thing I do want to talk about, I actually almost forgot to bring this up. There are 3 different versions of this thing. Now, obviously, a bunch of you guys already know there's different versions of this thing, but the only real difference in the bottom 2 is the type of storage. Now, this one, I got the bottom of the barrel, $400 one, and I'm gonna tell you why here in a second, but the other 2, the next 2 steps up, have SSDs in them so that they have faster storage. The most expensive one has a little bit of a different screen. It's the same resolution. It's got an anti-glare thing on it, which I was kind of interested in that, but I didn't get that. I ended up going for the $400 one because I watched a lot of videos and I saw a lot of people comparing the SSDs to the regular storage that's in it, or even a micro SD card. It's really not that much faster. So I just went ahead and got the cheap one. Now I know a lot of people are making a big deal about the SSDs, and you know, if that's something you are really worried about, yeah, I understand that. That is to each their own. But I would definitely go watch some videos on some comparisons of how they stack up against each other, because it doesn't really look to be like it's that much of a difference. But yeah, after 3 weeks, the Steam Deck, and kind of just waiting on Nintendo to put new things out, I'm probably going to be buying all my third-party games from now until, you know, maybe the Switch 2 or the foreseeable future when we start to get different things on the Switch. I'm going to be going with the Steam Deck for my third-party stuff. I'm not going anywhere when it comes to Nintendo. Nintendo is what I love. Nintendo is what we cover on this channel, but I am going to start adding some things in with the Steam Deck. I've got it. I really enjoy it. I think it's something that a lot of people who enjoy the Switch, maybe you've been on the fence about, maybe it's something that you've been considering for maybe the same reasons I was considering it. I think it's a good option. We're gonna talk about it more as we go forward, but guys, that's gonna do it for this one. As always, thank you so much for watching this video. Please leave a like. Seriously, leave a like. That does actually make a big difference, and it gets this video pushed out to a lot more places. Make sure you subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.